Hello everybody, welcome to Dakman Productions and welcome to Conahey Rail, the high rail O-gauge layout. So today's video I'm going to talk about Atlas O. And we're going to talk about the Atlas O catalog, new product, news, the whole 9 yards. So for those who don't know, Atlas O was in attendance at the 2024 TCA Fall York Show. And I'm so glad that they showed up. I got to actually talk to the reps there. They're hobbyists just like you and me, and they're willing to answer questions and talk to you. And they're pretty busy, and I can see why. They're really friendly guys. And I can see you guys now, you're eyeing up my shirt, aren't you, this Atlas O shirt, but I'm not going to tell you how I got it. So that's a little secret, but I'm sure you can figure it out since we're talking about Atlas O. But at any rate, yeah, so I got the chance to talk with them behind the scenes before the regular crowd come in, because since I'm the official videographer, I get to come in behind before anybody else shows up. So I had a chance to talk with them. And so as you guys have seen my past videos, well, let's back that up a little bit. So Atlas O bought some MTH Premier molds, and I figured that Atlas O would improve upon them. So the molds that Atlas O bought from MTH are called Atlas Premier. And so those who are not familiar with the Atlas O quality, I mean, Atlas O quality is bar none. They are the best of the best. If you're looking for details and realism, Atlas O is the way to go. That's my opinion. But, you know, there's other people that believe me now, that bought the product and are impressed with it. So the Atlas Master Series and the Trainman Series have trucks with rotating wheel bearing caps. And my biggest gripe with the MTH Premier product was the lack of rotating wheel bearing caps. And so I figured that once Atlas O bought the Premier lineup, they would improve upon that, but unfortunately that didn't happen. So I bought some Atlas Premier, reviewed it, basically said there's no changes, it's the same exact thing as the MTH Premier, and nothing has changed. So part of the reason is that Atlas O was still is still using the same factory as MTH for the Premier lineup only. So the Atlas O Premier is still coming out of the MTH factory. So they just kept everything the same. I was hoping for an improvement. Okay, well, before we go on to the catalog and all that stuff, spoiler alert, the guys at Atlas said, yeah, guess what? We made an improvement. I'm like, really? They said, yeah, starting with, I forget which product, but starting with a certain, whatever product they pointed to, I forget which one it is, but everything coming out Atlas Premier will feature new, updated trucks with rotating wheel bearing caps. Yeah, now that's what I'm talking about. And not only that, but they're also going to sell those trucks separate so you can update your past trucks. So, look for a huge sale on MTH trucks from me with non-rotating wheel bearing caps. Because I will certainly be updating a lot of my stuff to rotating wheel bearing cap trucks. I told Atlas O, I said, I hope you make thousands and thousands of those trucks because they're going to sell out quick. And they sort of like laughed, but yeah, I can see them selling. And I know there's going to be people like, you don't see it anyway, I don't see why you're so critical about it. Because real trains have rotating wheel bearing cap trucks. At least the more modern ones. I'm going, you know, you guys got to understand, I'm modern day, like 70s, mid-70s to modern day. So yeah, the old steam era, they didn't have rotating wheel bearing caps back then. They had friction bearing cap trucks. So yeah, I get that part of it. But I hate the part of simulated wheel bearing caps and they don't rotate. That's basically what I'm saying. If you're going to, why not make them rotate? So that's my fault. And other people are like, oh, the caps will just pop off and you'll lose pieces. Look, I mean, everybody's got their own thing of what they like. And, you know, my opinion, if you're into high rail and you want a scale car, it should have rotating wheel bearing caps. If you don't want that detail, you don't want to pay for those kind of details, maybe you should look at buying MTH Rail King instead. So what is the number one selling car or most popular car from Atlas O? Bar none, that would be the Berwick 60-foot high cube box car. If you see them on the secondhand market, especially a popular road name, you're going to see them at $200 plus. So yeah, they are very popular. And to give you, you know, an idea of that, so let's talk about the Conrail Berwick high cube box car. Believe it or not, Atlas made 12 different road numbers of that box car from multiple production runs over the years. So they made certain runs this year, they made certain runs that year, but at the end of the day, they made 12 different road numbers of the Conrail 60-foot Berwick high cube box car, and you know, you see them come up once in a while, but they, even with 12 different road numbers, they're hard to find. Also, when I was talking to Stu at the 2024 TCA York Falls show, you know, I reminded him, hey Stu, you saved me those Berwick cars, the Penn Central Berwick cars. He goes, yeah. He goes, good thing you asked for them in advance, because he says they're already sold out. I'm like, are you kidding? He goes, no, they're all spoken for. So it just goes to show that, you know, Penn Central, you know, I make fun of it all the time, but in actuality, I'm always looking for Penn Central stuff for my Conrail layout, just to shove in there. Penn Central is kind of hard to find in scale size, you know, like MTH Premier, Atlas O, and when you do find it, it's like, they made it, but it's hard to find. They didn't make much of it. So hopefully the manufacturers keep making more, aren't afraid to make more Penn Central. Yeah, come on guys, let's make some more Penn Central. Let's put some more out there. We'll buy it. But at any rate, they're so cool cars. I mean, I can't wait to get my hands on them. So unfortunately, when I go to do, you know, my Mecca videos, you're not going to see them on display for sale because they're already sold out. So if you didn't pre-order, you missed out. But I got mine, so you'll see a review on both of them here on Conahay Rail as soon as I get my hands on, which is supposed to be, according to Atlas O, the Berwicks are supposed to arrive in December, and I can't wait. I am looking forward to this and going through the history and having them, and I don't know. I'm excited, and I know you guys are scratching your head. Huh? You make fun of Penn Central all the time. Why would you buy them? Because, you know, Penn Central is the reason why Conrail came into existence. So we have to include it on the layout. And it gives me something to make fun of while, you know, I'm running my trains or talking to you guys. So but anyway, yeah, so I'm looking forward to the Berwick high cube box cars. That's for sure. Alright, so we're going to move on to the catalog. For those who don't know, Atlas likes to drop the fall/winter catalog for the end of the year at the TCA Fall York Show. So that's when the catalog for Atlas O comes out. And so it's always a cool thing to see and look through. So I'm going to go through it, and I'm going to highlight, you know, my picks and my thoughts and stuff. And at the end of the video, stick around because we're going to visit the Atlas O booth during the TCA show. So let's go. So here we are, Atlas O / Premiere Fall 2024 catalog. Starting to scroll through here. And, well, we don't need to read this part of it, so we'll move on. You have the table of contents. Do we really need to read that? No. But moving on, here we have the Atlas Premier GP30 locomotives. Now, Premier means that these are older or ex-MTH molds. So these were formerly MTH Premier molds. Now Atlas is doing these or bought these molds. So here you go. They're going to feature Protosounds 3. And you guys know I'm not a DCS Protosounds 3 person. But if you are, and you want the GP30 with Protosounds 3, here you go. Now, I did talk to Atlas about, why they got rid of TMCC. It was because of cost, and you can see that these are on 3-rail only. So I'm sure people wonder if they were 2-rail, so those are 3-rail. I'm not sure if they're going to continue to offer 2-rail stuff, but we'll see. I'm sure they will. But basically, Atlas said that TMCC got too expensive, and they thought it would put their locomotives in a non-competitive market. And, I agree with that. So here we have the Atlas Premier ES44 locomotives. So once again, these are former MTH molds, and they are offering modern-day locomotive schemes. It's so cool to see modern-day schemes getting offered because more and more people in this hobby want to buy trains that they actually see running on the rails today. The market is in high demand for that. Whether people want to believe it or not, it is true. They want to be able to buy that train that they see run in their backyard or when they go rail fanning. And these are perfect for people like that. And there's even an HO, more and more people are buying stuff geared towards what they see. Honestly, I wish Conrail was still around, but you just don't see Conrail stuff unless you go to a museum. But anyway, we're moving on here. Another batch of ES44 locomotives, and look at that. Oh man, look at that Florida East Coast. That's a wonderful paint scheme. That's really sharp. I like that. If I was in the Florida East Coast, I would be all over that one. That is so cool. And you guys can see the pricing. These are all MSRP prices, so I wouldn't get too excited. So you probably see these for right around mid $500 range, I'm going to assume. But check with your favorite hobby shop. I'm sure they'll tell you. And here we have the Atlas Master C424 locomotives. So yes, they're bringing back the C424 locomotives, the Alco locomotives. And, my thoughts as a mechanic. Now, I'm going to give you my opinion about the Alco C424 or Alco, any Alco Centuries for that matter. But, Alco built a great steam locomotive, but other than a couple switchers in the RS3, Alco could not build a diesel locomotive to save their life. So they rank right up there with garbage electric. They just, from a diesel mechanic standpoint, and I'm sure people are going to argue with me. Oh, I know railroads that ran in forever. Oh, yeah. And they dumped a lot of money into them to do that, too. Probably almost put themselves out of business keeping them things going. But that's a story for another day. And once again, everybody's got their own opinion. I've been wrenching on diesel engines for 35 years. But I digress. But these are sharp paint schemes. So if you're an Alco Century person, oh, by all means, these are wonderful, wonderful paint schemes. And again, they're going to feature DCS Protosound 3,
Atlas got away from TMCC, so they're no longer going to offer anything with TMCC. So if you're a fan of TMCC, and what was nice about TMCC, you could use line out controls for that. So, but any rate, so if you're already set up with MTH Protus, DCS system, then this will be right up your alley. So pretty cool stuff. And so we're going to go ahead and we'll move on here. All right, so let's move this page up, and we have some more Atlas Master Series C424 locomotives. That Erie Lackawanna, they should have offered that in a patched Conrail version. I'm sure there's people cringing about me saying that, but hey, I'm a Conrail person, and it really happened. Moving on, we have the Atlas Master C424 and the CP rail. I really like those white stripes on the end of the CP rail. The only thing that's driving me crazy looking at this, and I'm wondering if it's just the artwork the way it is, but it looks like there's too much of a gap between the frame of the body and the truck. I mean, I could almost fly a Cessna airplane through that. But anyway, hopefully, that's just the way the artwork looks, and it's not really that high off of the trucks. And as you see, Atlas is bringing back the industrial rail trolley. And industrial rail, for those of you who are not familiar, that's Atlas's 027 lineup of trains. So this is the first time they're bringing back the trolley in a long time that I can remember. Moving on, we have the Atlas Premier boxcars, and what's nice about this, you'll see they're bringing a little bit of realistic look boxcars into the market of O gauge. So there's been in O gauge there's been generic boxcars, generic hopper cars, and basically that's not the way the world works in real railroading. I mean, you have multiple brands and makes and models of boxcars and hopper cars. I mean, you got Gunderson, you got Pullman Standard, you have Greenbrier, NSC, Trinity. There's a ton, and each one of those manufacturers have different models of hopper cars and box cars depending on what you want to use them for. So here in this instance, we have the Pullman Standard 5344 boxcar. And I commended Atlas, the guys at Atlas, for doing this. And they said, yeah, what they're doing is they're scaling up a lot of their HO stuff and bringing that to the world of O gauge. Instead of generic stuff, they're bringing in prototypical box cars and hopper cars, which I find really refreshing. So you'll see it's all new tooling. And I believe, he showed me there's like 3 different doors, 3 different versions of doors for these. So not only are the manufacturers bringing in specific detailed locomotives, but now they're actually doing specific detailed rolling stock as well, according to the manufacturer, according to the model, according to what the railroads ordered. This is all cool stuff to bring more realism to the world of scale O gauge rolling stock. And I am all for this. All right, let's move on to the next page here. And again, all these prices are going to be MSRP. Now we have the Atlas Premier Aeroslide hopper car. And again, you're looking at now we're model specific 4180. So 4180 is how many cubic feet of product these cars can hold. And I'm looking at getting that Staley car. That's speaking to me. As I'm looking at this photo, the Staley is saying, "Buy me, Dak man, buy me." So, yeah, I'm gonna have to get that Staley car, that Aeroslide Staley car. Um, Look at the Rock Island, but I'm not sure if they really had an Aeroslide hopper. But I know Staley did. And sorry, yeah, that's the prototypical side of me coming out, because every once in a while I do splurge and buy fantasy stuff, but it depends on what it is. So we'll go ahead and move on. Now we have the Atlas Premier all-door boxcar. The all-door boxcar was kind of a unique boxcar. Its specific use was for hauling lumber. And so, being as how it had all doors, it made it easier to haul lumber. And there was quite a few lumber companies that used the all-door boxcar, such as Boise Cascade. That's one of the harder ones to find. But that's a cool, unique paint scheme. Now for the great news. We have Atlas O has announced a brand new Master Series 73-foot center divided flat car. All new tooling. And hopefully it doesn't take them 5 years to come out with this. Because I don't want to be dead before I get it. But at any rate, I'm looking at that yellow TTX or trailer train version down at the bottom. I'm probably going to order 2 road numbers of that. Again, this is all going to be MSRP. So check out your hobby shop for your real pricing. Because I know once people see the MSRP in the catalog, they'll be like, oh, how can anybody afford this? And so if you watch my last video of my train haul, you'll see that, I have a shoebox fund. So that's how I'm able to afford things. So yeah, we'll just skip that pricing for right now. But at any rate, you'll have, this is all die-cast construction. You'll have a removable load, which is included. There'll be die-cast trucks. You'll have, not sure if that car showed up, but in the car went by, that was loud. But at any rate, so you'll have die-cast knuckle couplers. And they're saying that this car at 73 foot will run on 054. I don't know about that. A 73 foot O gauge car on 054, maybe. But I wouldn't personally run it on anything less than 072. So, once again, these are all scale size cars for high rail layouts. So if these are too big, then you might want to shop for Rail King stuff. Moving on, we have the Atlas Trayman gondolas that are being released. What do we got here? New road numbers of the Conrail? Oh, no. No. It can't be. Well, looks like my wallet is going to get more emptier. Because I definitely had to have a couple more of that. The only thing better they would have done is, wow. It's unbelievable. But at any rate, so you have the DCS system, digital command system, Protosound DCS. So there's your basic Atlas O catalog. You can go out online and read it. And here you go, some cool stuff now available, limited edition collector series, Atlas O Premier 50-foot Gunderson Haiku box cars. So the top one you have the Atlas Christmas Special Santa Gift Box number 1224 in green. And then you have the Atlas Christmas Special Santa Gift Box 1225 in red. And of course you're going to have the set, right? So, yeah. Anyway, so let's move on. We'll look at the Atlas O booth next.